Let's talk about culture shock. Today, I want to share some of the culture shock that I experienced when I first moved to Vancouver, Canada for my master's studies. Namely, these four topics: social etiquette, small talks, tipping culture, and leisure activities. So if you're Taiwanese and you're thinking of studying, traveling, or living abroad in Canada, this video is for you. It will hopefully help you brace yourself, if you will, and adapt quickly to the changes. And then, yeah, I got your back. What is up, you guys? This is Chris, and welcome back to my channel. And this week, let us have some casual chat. Since, I've been too engrossed in Heated Rivalry, the new TV series. It's so good. I've been bawling and laughing like a literal idiot that I really didn't have any energy left to talk about anything serious like learning methods. Nonetheless, hopefully you'll still be enjoying this video and take away some useful information with you, okay? And so without further ado, let us jump right into it. So firstly, Canadians have a very different communication style. And then I think a huge part of it is making eye contact and saying hi. And then I just was so not used to this when I first moved to Canada. I think it's safe to say Taiwanese value efficiency and privacy when it comes to having a conversation with strangers, such as a smoothie place cashier or a restaurant server. We are usually very straight to the point. We don't usually say hi. We sometimes make eye contact in the beginning, but then we will look away to make our orders. But in Canada, it is usually frowned upon if you don't say hello to the person you're talking to. You have to acknowledge their presence. You may also want to throw in some pleasantries, and after that, you are good to make your orders by asking nicely. I think that's also a huge difference here. In Taiwan, we usually make orders by saying, "Oh, 我要一个这个." But in Canada, you make your orders by saying, "Can I please have a latte? Can I please have a cappuccino?" And on top of that, you have to do everything I just described while you look them in the eyes. So yeah, I'll say it definitely takes some getting used to. But then, just put up a smile, fake your confidence, and just do your best. You sure will get a hang of it after a few practices, and you may even learn how to do small talks. And that leads us to our next topic, small talks. A lot of English learners are so afraid of small talks, and I think that's fair. I once was talking about this with my friends that if you put an introverted Canadian in Taiwan, they will very likely be viewed as an extrovert by Taiwanese. And I think a lot of that comes from cultural difference. So Taiwanese society encourages you to follow the rules, and you will be rewarded and seen when you perform well. On the other hand, Canadian society encourages you to speak up for what you want. So if you want an opportunity, you contact the person in charge and present yourself. What I'm trying to say here is that small talks are a good opportunity to practice that. You just have to accept the fact that you don't know this person's name and then you may never see them again in your life. So even though it doesn't seem necessary for you to have a conversation with this person, it's still fun to do it. And a rule of thumb is you will want to stay clear of sensitive topics. So you really don't want to start a small talk by asking, "Oh, how much are you making per month?" Or what is your take on the income disparity among Canadians of different ethnicity groups? And then I got quite good at small talks at one point because every time when I bought smoothies or coffee, I would just force myself to do small talks. Yeah, so just practice and then gradually you'll become better at small talks. Our third topic, the obnoxious tipping culture. And first of all, it will really save you a lot of time if you have a credit card or e-payment set up on your phone. So you just need to choose the percentage on the PIN pad and tap your phone or card on it. And then I would really suggest you not pay cash since it's gonna make tipping a lot more troublesome. And in terms of how much you should tip, you should usually go for 10% for a coffee, 15% for lunch, and 15 to 20% for dinner. And if you're out eating or drinking with a large group of friends, I think the mandatory gratuity would be at least 18%. And that's a lot. One thing I love about Taiwan is that eating out is so much more affordable. And then you also don't need to do extra calculation on tips. But I get it, right? Catering workers are paid a lot less in Taiwan, and that's why it is so affordable. But I wouldn't venture to say one of them is better than the other. It's just cultural difference in my opinion. And yeah, I think that's also why local Canadians really love to invite their friends over for parties. It's just so much more affordable and flexible that way. And for our last topic today, let's talk about leisure activities. And I know a lot of Taiwanese prefer indoor activities like seeing movies, shopping, or going out for dinner with friends. But you're gonna miss out on a lot of opportunities to meet new friends here in Vancouver if you refuse to try outdoors. And trust me, outdoor activities are so much more enjoyable since it's not as scorching hot all year round like Taiwan. Yeah. And I think I personally didn't like outdoor activities that much at first, but then gradually I just fell in love with the beaches. And it's just so stunning, so relaxing. So yeah, please definitely try it out. Be prepared to see a lot of wild animals in Vancouver as well. We have all heard of the infamous pigeons on Granville Island, right? They're gonna gawk at your food and wait for the right time to pounce. So protect your food at all costs. You may sometimes come across cute seals at Stanley Park as well. I have seen them several times while bike around waterfronts, so you should definitely try that out. Even if you're just strolling on the street late at night, there are chances that you're gonna see a coyote or raccoon. But one personal fear of mine is to meet with bears, Walking in the forest in Canada really makes you feel like Bella Swan from the Twilight movies. So romantic. But unfortunately, it is more likely for you to have a meet cute with bears than with Edward Cullen. So guys, stay vigilant and stay safe. And then I think that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Please comment down below if you are curious about anything else related to living in Canada. And yeah, also feel free to pull up to my Instagram and Threads to talk to me. And then I hope you have a good one and hope to see you in the next one. Bye.